Miss me? Hey everyone, welcome back to a TTV Reviews. I'm Hayley from NINJAGO Cast, and today I'm going to be reviewing this set from the NINJAGO Summer 2022 wave, or known as NINJAGO Crystalized. The set I'm reviewing today is going to be set number 71772, the Crystal King. It has 722 pieces and sells for $70. This set will appear on store shelves in North America on August 1st and in Europe on June 1st. So I want to first thank LEGO for sending us this set for review, but just know that everything that I say in this video is my own opinion and is not swayed by LEGO sending us these sets. So thank you, LEGO and the LEGO Ambassador Network. Now let's dig into the Crystal King. I am going to be completely honest with you all, so bear with me. I was very disappointed when I built this set. The box art looks fantastic. The concept is fantastic. We get a centaur as a villain-like figure. That's crazy. And yet when I finished building it, I sat and looked at it and I wasn't super impressed. So I'm going to get into kind of why I wasn't impressed, but first let me tell you about my building experience. It was a very standard build, I would say. It did feel like I was building a mech. There were a couple, pieces that I didn't know where they were going to go until I was like, oh, this connects here, and then that's, I guess, the butt, and then it goes into like the hips, and then you get like this other hip area. Like there's a lot of like cool pieces that all came together. It was a little confusing, but it all came together in the end, which is very cool. But other than that, it's a very standard build. I would say one of my favorite moments was when I was building the helmet and I pulled out a black hot dog piece, I believe, and it's the eyebrows of the mech, or at least the head, and I thought that was very funny. And it works very well. But other than that, I would say I had a lot of fun with a few aspects of it. The tail is very cool. I think the hooves were a lot of fun to build. And of course the head is absolutely my favorite part. So that's my building experience with this set. Let's get into the color scheme. We have seen this color scheme before, Ninjago fans. This centaur shares the same color scheme as the Golden Master from way back in 2014. That of course was the Overlord, but it was keyed the Golden Master for that season, and the Golden Master, as well as this, has the main color attributes of black, gold, and purple. This also has light pink translucent pieces to kind of accentuate that purple. But those are the main colors. A few other colors, of course, to mention. We've got some navy on the shoulders as well as the wings. We have gunmetal and gray on the feet and the arms and the legs as well. And yeah, that's pretty much the color scheme for this centaur. Again, I really like the translucent pink molds. It does make the wings and of course the helmet, the tail. It makes a few aspects of this dragon-esque centaur pop, and I really do like that about the set, as well as this translucent pink covering for at least the mech covering for where the Crystal King sits. Let's talk about articulation. What articulation? Oh, y'all think I'm joking. No, I'm not joking. Let me start with where there is articulation. There are definitely a few areas of articulation. Let me kind of go through them here right now. There are ball and socket joints on all of the feet. Obviously, that's probably the most common source of ball and socket. You also have mixel joints on the wrists to give the wrists some articulation. You have ball and socket on the elbows of the arms, I would say, as well as ratchet joints on the shoulders. So the arms are the most articulate places on this set. You have ratchet joints on the back hips, mixel joints on the wings that are attached to the back of the body, mixel joints on the head, only in one area, like the basically the back of the skull. 5 mixel joints on the tail. And then you've got, other areas where you can move the shoulder pads, some of the helmet details, and the fingers and toes. Here's the big one, folks. The front legs have no articulation at all. Let me say that again. The front legs have no articulation at all. You have the feet. You can move the feet around, but you cannot move this kind of knee area, which is standard, but you cannot move this upper hip area. This really kills a lot of the posability you can do with this guy, because that's like the main area where you want to move him. You can move these around as much as you want, but you're not going to really have much of a different physique of the centaur unless you move these around. It is very disappointing. And when I put that together and I kind of, I slid the Technic pieces together, I was like, ooh, that's not going to be good. Because yeah, they don't move. And this guy is tall and mighty, but doesn't go anywhere. He's basically a statue, which is very disappointing and not a really big fan of. So let's talk a bit about the sculpting. Again, I'm not very impressed. I would say the chest area is really cool. The helmet, again, is very cool. It has a lot of great unique pieces used to create, either covering and, decor for where the Crystal King sits. Of course, some cool pieces to create, cheekbones and like a mask. His helmet and whatnot are very cool. I mentioned the black hot dog. But other than that, I would say like the legs and arms are really blocky and square, and then the back legs are very triangular, so they don't really match, and they feel, not very connected and whatnot. The arms are very long as well. They're, with the fingers as well, they're longer than the legs, and it just doesn't feel proportionally right. The wings are kind of small as well. Like the only thing that really helps them have volume are the pieces that stick out on each side. The back seems very kind of unfinished. Like there are stickers back there on like the back spine and on where it meets the tail. But other than that, it's just kind of like a gaping area where you would expect there to be a lot of mass and muscle and whatnot. But instead it looks, sure, it's a creature and whatnot, but it looks very unfinished. And I think part of it is because you can see a lot of the studs on the back of the wings. And so you feel like there should be something else here, but there's not. So maybe if the back of this area or the back of the wings were more finished, and that would help with the appearance of the back. I will say I do like the shaping of the hooves. Again, you don't really get hooves much in Lego sets, but it's very clever. These little triangular pieces help with the shaping. I do really like this staff. It's a very simple staff, but it does get the point across. Great use of this translucent piece. I like how it sticks on to the hand. It very much grabs it instead of like you like sliding it in, which is new. And then one of the other things I really don't like, and this is a big problem of mine because you can't really look at this guy head on. Take his head up for a second. There is a purple disc on like his neck, the back of his neck, and this head only can go down so far, and so you can't really hide that purple disc. So if you look on it, straight on, it doesn't look really right. If that was like a black piece or a black disc, it would work because you wouldn't be able to see it, but you can really see that purple, and again, it looks like it's unfinished. But yeah, so that's the sculpting of this set. Let's now move on to some minifigures. So this set has 5 minifigures, 4 of them which are villain characters, and then there's Lloyd, who is heavily outmatched. Lloyd has a great suit this time around. This is his, I guess, plain suit. He only has 2 suit variants this time around. The other ninja have 3. I'm a huge fan of this dark green on his sleeves. They help, with the dark green that appears in a few areas on his chest, as well as his headband. It feels kind of like a complete suit. And it's not too messy. It has some, cool texturing and cool fabric design. It's not too messy and it looks cool like all the other ones. So I very much am a fan of this variant of Lloyd. Most interesting villainous character is Harumi, who is back somehow. The rumors of her death were very exaggerated. The most interesting thing with her is she has red eyes, which I believe is a new thing for her. So maybe that's a hint of what she is. Is she corrupted? Is she empowered by magic? We don't know, but that's our only clue about how Harumi could even be back. If she even is back, we don't even know. We have the two truths and a lie from Tommy saying that there's possibly red herrings in here. She could be a red herring. I don't know what to think about it because I like Harumi and I don't want her to come back, but I also would love to see if she came back. So we'll see. Her suit is awesome though. She has a great Vengestone warrior outfit with the Overlord symbol on her chest. Looks great. Fits her very well. I think it complements her white hair a lot. We have a couple of Vengestone guards. We have a Vengestone guard and a Vengestone warrior. The Vengestone guard, I believe, has two translucent arms, as well as like some translucent pink armor on them, as well as like a double-edged pink warrior staff. I love these molds. I think these are probably my favorite that they've done of like the villain race or whatnot. Like, I don't even know what they are, if they're like, crocodiles or dragons, I guess. I don't know. But they look very cool. The head is one piece, so like you don't have to put it together. It's just one piece for the head. Plop it on. Great mohawk, great designing for like the teeth and whatnot. It has translucent arms, some translucent legs. It looks absolutely amazing. I love these figures. The main villain is the two-armed variant of the Crystal King. So this guy is gunmetal, or I guess maybe not gunmetal, but he's like a weird browny gray color with muted gold and pink is his color scheme. He has the same kind of rib cage as that this guy has up front, as well as the Golden Master has like kind of inspiration from that. He's shooting off some purple lightning, pow pow. And then he has this really weird head. Not really a huge fan of this head. It's not his actual head. It's a combo of like a samurai helmet, but you attach like this mask in front of it. He does have a head mold underneath, or not head mold, a head print that looks very similar to the Overlord. Wink wink, nudge nudge. But the dragon head, I'm gonna give credit to AJ, who told Tyler, who eventually told me. Looks like a video character. And that's not a compliment. Looks very weird. It doesn't look very menacing. I think there's not enough contrast in the face, and also the eyes look like he has sunglasses on. I'm just saying it as it is. It looks like the guy's wearing sunglasses. So I'm not a huge fan of this figure, especially the two-armed variant. He doesn't look very menacing. The gold arms are nice, but I just feel like it's missing like the same, wow factor that the Vengestone Warriors have. So those are the minifigures. Let me put this guy down. Price-wise, so this price is $70 for a little over 700 pieces. I think, right? A little over, so yeah, 722 pieces. That is the best price to part ratio in the entire wave. Like, hands down, this set does that best. So it is absolutely worth the money that you spend for this guy. So at least price-wise, it feels like it's $70. This is a very big build, like it's very tall. So it definitely is worth $70. So it's a very, very well and fair price set. But there's not a lot of function to it, which it suffers because of that. Again, it's like you have a $70 statue. While it's worth $70, if it did have a lot of function, then maybe I could see the price being raised to like $80. But again, it just stands there. Like, you can't really do much with him. So that is, the price for part ratio is excellent, but you're also not getting a lot of play value with this guy. So my recommendations, like, it's a great villain set. It's going to look great next to the Golden Ultra Dragon, because it's, the heads pretty much line up at least the same way. So it's going to be like, equal to each other. It's not really a good play toy because, again, it doesn't really do much. There's not really much to do with it, function-wise. If you like villain builds, well, this is obviously, I know a lot of people in the community are very excited for this. It is one of the most hyped up sets, I would say. And after I built it and I saw all the hype, and yet I knew kind of how it was, it kind of killed the hype for me a lot, because it's like, there's not really much going on. Like, it's gonna sit on my shelf, which I mean is what most of my other sets are gonna do, but if I want it to pose, I can't really do much, so it's disappointing on that end. So, I mean, if you want to get it, go for it. It is a great build, great set, but if you're on the fence about it, you can probably let this one slide. Save your money for the dragon. You should check out my dragon review. That set is phenomenal. So if you're on the fence about this, I would say save your money and put it towards the dragon. Now, I am very much oriented as I want to see how it's represented in show. This is a very unique build. It has 4 legs, which means that it's going to be very mobile. It has a giant staff, giant wings, and so I'm excited to see how this looks like in the show, and that might change my opinions on how it is as a set. Because if it's well represented, like if it's, if it looks exactly what it was in the show, then that's great. And I would say, yeah, absolutely. It's a great representation of the show. But if it isn't, then $70. So that's my thoughts on the Crystal King set, which again is set number 71772. This retails for $70, and it comes out August 1st in the United States and June 1st in Europe. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, thank you for watching my review for the Crystal King. If you have any questions about the set, feel free to drop a comment, and I'll do the best I can to answer your questions. If you have any thoughts on this set, also let me know. I would love to hear other people's thoughts on this as well. And I will see you for the next set review for Ninjago Summer 2022, or Ninjago Crystalized. I'll see you all later.